At last, hello and welcome. I have somebody I'd like you to meet, so let's not waste any more time. You see, recently I've been completely and totally obsessed with display entities. You know, essentially projections of blocks. These are really fun entities that exist in your vanilla game, but they're a little hard to control. By utilizing a mod called Axiom, we are provided with an interface to help design with these tasty tools. While I will be showcasing Axiom's incredible ability to create some truly delectable builds, I also want to both demonstrate some fun vanilla techniques I've developed for creating geometric shapes with display entities, and begin to explore a truly powerful and mysterious online tool called BD Engine. So join me today as we create our next painting, which we will set in this fashionable 2x2 frame. Yeah, we can work with this. This is a solid start, but I think it's a bit too bright out here. See, I'm imagining that the subject of this painting will be mighty interesting with a stormy background. So, if you'll come with me, I can introduce you to our bay. I created this wonderful scenery almost exclusively using Axiom, except for these cobblestone walls right here. File these away for later reference. And while we're going to use its display entity manipulation tools for the subject of this painting, I used Axiom's editor mode to create this unique terrain. Instead of building it up, I actually carved it out, starting out with a big block of concrete that I eroded to simulate the ocean eating away at the cliffside. And on top of the cliffside, we have these golden fields. Ever since wheat was retextured in 1.14, 60 years ago, it's been one of my favorite blocks for creating fields of dry grass. While the official angle will turn into a painting is down on the beach, I feel like angles from up above have a nice contrast between the bright grass and the frigid water below. And you may have noticed, but that's not actually water. It's 4 layers of glass made to represent the clouds reflecting on the still ocean. It was around this point that I committed to setting the weather to a thunderstorm to create a really moody atmosphere to shroud the subject of this painting, a spindly being, in the mist. And oh yeah, we're creating a being. Inspired by the visions I see when I close my eyes, I drew this on the back of a receipt for insert future sponsor here because I used the need of paper as an excuse to eat out at insert future sponsor here. Yeah, that's what the script says. Insert future sponsors here. No rush though, guys, but they are repoing my car as we speak. Now, as you can see, we're donning this being with a rather unordinary head. The body is simple enough that we'll just use traditional building methods to shape it, but creating these circles in Minecraft is going to be a particularly interesting challenge that I think we can solve with display entities.
Let's get started.
Welcome to my display entity testing world. It's here where I test out display entity related data packs and command block stuffs. If you joined the behind the scenes watch party for the last video, you know that I'm not ashamed of using a mob or two in accomplishing my needs. Meet Margaret, who will help us make those circles for the head. My gorgeous goth girlfriend, who is definitely real, but you probably don't know, she goes to a different school, named it. Say hi to Margaret, everyone. Today we're going to be spinning Margaret in circles. But don't worry, I turned off Margaret's AI, so she doesn't mind getting nauseous as we spin her like a f***ing blender. Now, this might be daring of me to say, but I'm not a big fan of animal cruelty. So just as long as we don't accidentally leave this machine on, we can ensure that Margaret is treated humanely. Or is that chickenly? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh shoot, Margaret! And we're spinning Marge in circles for a reason, by the way. But to understand as to why, please allow me to pivot and explain what transformations mean when it comes to display entities. See, display entities have an origin, and Axiom places its controlling gizmo at said origin. Either through vanilla commands or Axiom's provided interface, we can transform a display to reposition its origin and associated gizmo. So, returning to Marge, one of these extra command blocks summons an entity that has been transformed far from its origin. As Margaret spins in circles, we copy her rotation and can apply it to the before mentioned display entity. Then afterwards, we can teleport that display entity out of reach of our machine here. This means that if we keep spinning Marge in circles and keep feeding in entities, we can create these halos around Marge like the angel she is. Now, circles have been possible in Minecraft before through falling sand entities, armor stands, you name it, but this is my new personal favorite creative method, mainly because you can refine your circle to taste. Allow me to demonstrate. There's a simple equation, Oh yeah, we're doing math now, by the way. There's a simple equation where you can figure out how many display entities you'll need in your circle by dividing 360 degrees by x degrees of march rotation. Spinning her 5 degrees, you'll need 72 entities. Spin her 3 degrees, and you'll need 120. Get it? Got it? Good. We need 5 rings for our project, so not to get too outlandish, I spun our darling march by 3 degrees for each ring to result in a clean 600 entities total. After grouping, I pick-blocked each ring and saved them to one of my creative hotbars to be able to import them to any of my other worlds. Man, I'm sorry for leaving you up there for so long, Marge. Here, I'll put you back on the Mr. Max Mondays SMP where you belong. Margaret? Margaret? Originally, I planned to demonstrate how one could also use a data pack to achieve the same shape while also shifting each display entity through a gradient. But after returning to the bay and exploring my shaders for more interesting visual options, I realized that instead of texturing the subject of this painting, we could use the flat color of its silhouette to our advantage. And that's when I made an incredible discovery. Once we grouped our circle together, ungrouping it would reset each entity's transformation, allowing us to move and edit each entity individually. Think of the possibilities! The ability to change specific entities, whether that be in type, size, location, type, or size. You can even change their location and size. Keep that in mind, as we should probably return back to our bay to finally slap all of our recently created elements on top of a lengthy structure I created using Axiom's path tool. Which reminds me, a lot of you have been asking for a tutorial on Axiom's editor mode, which, if you weren't aware, is what I've used to make most of my terrain recently. And counteroffer, I've really wanted to start a series where I make one large cohesive map that has the potential to bloom into a future adventure map or something. What if I combine the two ideas, creating a large map as my own creative outlet, as well as documenting how to use each Axiom tool in dedicated yet bite-sized chunks? Leave a comment asking for the voices to go away to show your support of the idea. Much love, everybody. And finally, with all the halos in place, I was able to ungroup our rings to allow for more control over specific entities. I was aiming for a shattered feeling, so by resizing and repositioning specific block displays, I was able to achieve the desired effect. But before I show you the final result, let's talk about these cobblestone walls I mentioned in the beginning of the video. These cobblestone walls, as you could tell, are made out of display entities, but these were not created in Axiom, and instead were purely generated using one or several summon commands. That's because we used this, an online platform called BD Engine. I have since made some pretty awesome creations using this platform, but at the time I used these simple cobblestone walls as an easy introduction to BD Engine and its various tools. And truthfully, I originally started this video with the intent of making it into a BD Engine review before realizing that these two projects deserved their own videos. So just know that you'll be seeing more of this software in the time to come in more advanced applications. At the time of recording this though, I was kind of a noob. I tried to make a couple haystacks for the fields, but you're here to try to show that blocks can be used for other purposes. And you said that the wheat was gonna be dry grass, and now you're making a haystack. Mr. Max Mondays, stick to the script. So let's put BD Engine away, for now, and return to our bay for the last time. With these tasteful walls in the foreground of various shots, it's my pleasure to finally introduce you to the subject of this painting. Ladies and gentlemen, behold. I'm not sure about y'all, but I like the mood we've set in the studio today. While he was made to be captured from this angle specifically, I think his presence adds a lip-smacking quality to the background. And while I'm not trying to freak the frick out, you gotta admit these halos look incredible. I love the way that our shaders, complementary, by the way, interact with distant display entities to really drive home the shattered halo silhouette. I think the composition lends itself to a fun gradient between techniques as well, displaying unaltered summoned shapes in the bottom left with the fragmented halos in the upper right. An intriguing figure and a fantastic painting. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we revisited it sometime in the near future. But I have other duties ahead. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the video is done. Okay, peace.